So now it's time to deep dive into Canva. So it's a really, really straightforward tool, as I said, and they are here to help you. So over the top here, you can see there's already some pre-sized different things. You can Instagram posts, animated social media, TikTok backgrounds, Facebook posts. There's loads here. The easiest way of all to get started, I think, is to go up here to create design. And as you'll see, there's going to be lots of suggested ones here. So there's so much different sizes and they're all ready to roll here. So for today, we're going to start with an Instagram post. So you can see when we hover over it here, you can see it says 1080 by 1080 pixels. That's the size of an Instagram post. So it's all ready and raring for you to go. So let's click that and it opens a new blank design. So the great thing about Canva is you don't have to be a professional designer or really know too much about design to get going. It has tons of templates and I can tell you, really, you will never run short of ideas. So say, for example, today we're going to be typing in here, we want to make an Instagram ad. So let's have a look. So here you can see there is absolutely tons and tons of different templates. And the great thing with each of those templates is you can change those up to look and feel more like your brand. So one I quite like the look of back up here was, where was it gone? Oh, there it is now. So say, for example, this one. So say you worked and you owned an electrical retailer and you were doing your Black Friday deal and you wanted to have a nice Instagram post. So here's the post ready to go. Yeah, it's okay, but actually it doesn't really look like my brand. So the first thing you can see is this blue box, which is highlighting that it's looking at the background. Here you'll see is the background color. So this is where you can go and change it. Now you can put in a new color or the default colors are there. But then what's really clever about this is that it actually picks up the colors in this image. So it's picking up the gray, it's picking up the beiges, it's picking up the yellow tones, it's picking up the black. It's a really handy, way of doing it. So say, for example, we wanted to change and have that as the background color. Look, that really pops out now, doesn't it? So the next thing is here, we want to change and we want to maybe change the text. So what we're doing is we're double clicking in here and it'll bring our cursor into the box. So we'll call it Electric City is the name of the retailer. You can simply resize by pulling. You saw that little line there. Well, you can simply resize it by pulling, or we can make it smaller again. But I think it looks better all on one line, so we'll leave it like that. Now, I don't really like that font, so here is a drop down. And if you have the free version, you'll just have a list of all the different fonts that you can use. I have the paid version, so I've got some brand fonts that I use in here for myself and some clients. But here's a list of the popular fonts. So let's have a look. Let's think. I think Articulate looks good. So Articulate, yeah, that looks better, doesn't it? Looks more smart. So say over here, we wanted again to change the font, or we wanted again to change, we can just simply click on the box. So it creates this blue box around the text. We can change the font. So let's go for something a bit more bold. What does that look like? It's still a bit hard to read, isn't it? So maybe let's make the font a bit bigger, which is this box here. So at the moment it's 10.5. Let's make it up to 12. Now, it's gone a little bit out of sorts there, as you can see. So what we can do is we can just make it a little bit. So we can go back in here and make it 10 again. Okay, because it's a bit too big there. And then if we're not sure about the photograph, we can actually change it. So over here on this side here is a list of loads of different things you can do. So there's uploads where you can have photographs you've uploaded yourself. You can have images. So this is where maybe we could search. This is stickers. So we could add in flashes, lines, shapes. We can add in moving images now, which is something new that Canva launched late last year. We can create little grids. So what are grids? Grids are little boxes. So for example, we could put a grid just in here in the background, and we could add another background picture this time instead of actually being a color. So we're going to change that. We're not going to do that. So it goes back to the color. But just so you can see, that was as simple as just literally dragging that behind there, and it installs it in behind the picture. And that up there is the little delete button. There's tons and tons of little graphics there you can use. This is text, so you can add in extra text you like. There's some pre-made font combos there, which are really cool. Again, this is so helpful. Now you're going to see over some of them, you'll see here where it says Pro and a little crown. That means it's not in the free version. So this is where the free version and the paid version are quite different. There's so much more in the paid version that you can use. Styles in here, this is where ones you can save, so your brand kit, for example, or some that other people are using. So it can be somebody else. So say, for example, let's look at this one here. We could change this totally, and it's going to completely, as you can see, change everything in there, which is actually really cool. So here the font has changed into a black. So we want to highlight it, and we want to go up here to the A. So that's the text color. Now let's make it white because it's going to be easier to read against the black. And look, even just that simple style has completely changed it and made it look really fresh. Again, something new they've added recently is music. Now this is stock music. So what stock music is music that has been licensed for usage. So you won't get into trouble for using this one. However, if you use your own music, you do really need to be careful, and you need to consider licenses that you would need to use. So it's really better off if you use these stock sounds that are in various different apps. And the last thing is videos. So say, for example, we could change this picture to be a video. So it could be something completely different. So it could be this, say there. And we could put it in instead of the video. And I'm going to, or instead of the picture, I'm going to delete it now. But as you can see, Canva is a really, really easy way to make this and your social media look so smart and professional. Some other new things they've added recently is, one of the things is this animate button here. So this is giving you some other options here. Again, some have the little crown, which means they're pro, and some are free. So say, for example, if you click on block and if you watch what happens, everything starts moving in the text. So if we do tumble, how cool are these? Tectonic. It's just making everything look like somebody has spent an awful lot of time and money on this. You can change the duration. So here you can do a little timer, so you can make it up to 24 seconds. You can make it say down to 12.5 seconds. Let's do that one. And let's click it again and see what it looks like. That's up here. That looks really cool, doesn't it? Now, most people would think you've paid a designer to do this. If you go onto YouTube, you will find some really, really great tutorials for Canva. This has been a really straightforward, simple tutorial for you to get started on. But if you get into Canva and play around, you can't go wrong. You can learn so much so quickly. I'm completely self-taught in Canva. I'm not a designer, but I've learned so much from it over the years. So finally, the last thing is we want to download this, so for our social media. When we click on the download button here, it's going to give you the options. So because we've made this into a moving graphic, it's going to save it as an MP4. However, if we want to change that, we've got the option here to change it as a PNG, which is a very high quality file, or a JPEG, which is probably quite adequate for most social media. But let's download it as an MP4 video, as they say. When you click download, a little message like this in the bottom will appear, and this will keep going down. You can see the video downloading there, and depending on your internet speed, it might take a minute or two. It might be really quick otherwise. Now, the last thing to say about Canva is it's really easy to use on the desktop, but the great news is they have an Android and an iPhone app. So what you can do to make life even easier again is do your work on the desktop app and then go onto the app on your phone and find the piece that you've just worked on and download it directly to your phone, making life so much easier. This has been Canva. As I said, it is going to be your new favorite friend for the next while. And trust me, you will not regret it.